I will start by a positive note. I agree with our colleague that IMEX was very good for us, for Egypt, and very few people expected. I don't want the bad eye to come look for me. I'm safe, I hope. We have experienced a very good IMEX show in Las Vegas. And one of my colleagues, who is the president of SITE, the Society of Incentive Travel Executives, was there. And we have very, very promising, I said very promising, for 2025. Hope nothing happens between now and then, and the whole thing will calm down. Now, coming back to the airport situation in Egypt. Of course, people now look at airport as an experience. They don't look at airport just to go to an airport for transit or for things like this. They want to have an experience, like every aspect of travel, whether the airline, whether the travel agents, whether the hotel. The people have changed attitudes. Unfortunately, here, our airports are not good for this. It's a big mess. Why? Because, of course, we closed one airport. We have 3 terminals. We closed Terminal 1, and we are working with 2 and 3. And we don't have a fixed date as to when it will open. And we don't have the amenities people are expecting in airports. If you go now to all modern airports, you'll find people can have dining experience. They can have relaxation experience. They can have massage at the airport. They can have haircuts, sauna, etc. And maybe the first airport to have this was Denmark. I still remember 40 years or 35 years ago, they had this kind of thing. But if you go to Singapore airport, to Qantas in Australia, all airports now have this kind of facilities. So this is one thing we should have. Second thing is the on-time performance of the airline, because the airline is related to the airport. The airline is delayed, and people have no experience at the airport, it would be a dreadful experience for the destination, and it can kill everything else. Thirdly, the staffing. Across the board, in all the travel business, we have a problem of staffing. Where do we get staff from? You are not anymore an attractive business. People don't want to work in travel or related business. The airlines are suffering the same thing. The airline, they find no staff because they laid off a lot of staff during COVID, and they can't recruit fast enough to cope with the demand or with the number of aircrafts they have. And if you go to Paris, you will see a lot of Air France airplanes lying on the ground. I'm not speaking about sales, I'm speaking about even handling of the clients. So we have very, very serious problems at the airport. Cleanliness. Cleanliness is a major point. People are caring about sanitary problem. They want clean airports. At one point we had, in 2005, we had Fraport managing CAIRO airport and Paris airports managing all other airports. And all of a sudden, we said, we don't want them, we can do everything ourselves after 25th of January. And this is not true. Not for any reason, but people respect more a foreigner when he gives order than respect a colleague from Egypt. That's one. Number two, overstaffing. All of a sudden, we had a lot of people we had to employ past 2013. So all this problem added together, plus the fact that we don't have the amenities, are creating a problem. So we should look into it more seriously. Airports. That's number one, because this is the arrival. And when some of my colleagues spoke about Sphinx airports, I would call it the disaster airport. I always like to be shocking. Why?
Started being positive and you've changed now. So
Why? Because when you arrive there, it's a perfect airport, very modern, beautiful. But how will you get out of the airport? You need a car. You need any means of transportation. Forget it. If you want a car, a taxi, you will pay a bundle of money if he comes. So how would you get out? Unless somebody is waiting for you. I represent a few airlines that land there. And the second thing, they don't promote it as part of CAIRO. We have a big issue with the civil aviation. They say Sphinx Airport. Who knows where is Sphinx? We beg them to say CAIRO Sphinx. No. So people see Sphinx. They say, we don't use it. We don't go. And I have carriers, they stop their flights. The second largest German carrier, which we represent, stop their flights because the guests could not find this airport. So we have to cope with this issue. We have to watch, see, and look at really the main problems. That's concerning this issue, and I don't want to expand any activity. B2B, okay. Now, we neither have a valid B2B or a valid B2C. Our promotion is simply haphazard. We don't do anything with a definite study. Not only whom do I want to address, but how do I want to address it? Exactly 3 days ago, we received the information that the partial opening of the Grand Museum. Do you think I have time to convince a guy in Paris, which is a close destination, to come and visit this museum? So he will only get whoever is in CAIRO and has a free time, but he will not get an added client. And that's what we need. I had my differences with Haitham because he said, promote new destination. I said, let's promote the old destination first and then promote new destination. Because everybody is speaking about China. I said, what are you going to get from China? I will favor 100% go to China. But we have no airlines flying to China. We had a guy a few years back who break all the rules by offering a trip which was worth $2,200 for $750. And the Chinese bought it because it was cheap. That this guy went bankrupt. And I don't want to mention the name of the airline he has, but all of it went bust because it was not the right promotion. So when we go back to B2B or B2C, I say we have to study very well. And for the time being, we cannot go B2C. We have to go B2B except for general announcement. And every company is trying to do its own promotion on the media, social media. And this could be B2B. This is a must to start with. And the receiving end, he knows better his destination. So he knows better how to get to his C. So I leave it to him. But I will just address him for the time being.